Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Young and Restless viewers were stunned when Audra came clean to Nate all of her own volition. But a lie of omission may still threaten everything they have together. Audra confessing to Nate about her past with Holden was not on our 2025 soap bingo cards. The move hinted at growth for the character, and was an unexpected but welcome development for fans of Audra, who were sure the couple's cozy romance was about to hit the skids. Young and Restless viewers were equally surprised when Nate reacted with understanding. After all, his girlfriend withheld crucial information from him, which he failed to alert him to Holden's ruse when he pretended to be Damien. He could easily have responded with disgust, told her she'd never change, and that she'd lost his trust. As it turns out, that's not entirely off the table just yet. Zuleika Silver, who plays the sometimes difficult-to-read Audra Charles, revealed to Soap Opera Digest that Audra hasn't actually come completely clean to her partner. She revealed that she's been told by writers that there's, well, more to the story, and that Audra's past with Holden than what she claimed. Silver explained, "It wasn't just a fling or a few dates. It was much more intense. Where that intensity is coming from, and why Audra felt the need to risk her relationship with Nate on a lie of omission, remains a bit of a mystery." Silver is playing as though there are unresolved feelings that could threaten her deepening connection with the former doctor, but noted that it's a toss-up as to whether it's her not necessarily trusting herself around him, or whatever he is holding over her. Audra may be keeping her cards close to the vest because she fears something compromising will come to light, or because she and Holden have a dangerous pull toward one another that could upend the safe and stable relationship she's forged with Nate. In the end, whatever she's hiding will come back to bite her, and will certainly test, if not ruin, her romantic connection. We're well aware that happy soap couples inevitably face conflict, but it's a bit of a bummer to think that this one may be broken up already, given how it softened Audra and allowed her to show a different, more vulnerable side to herself. On the other hand, it's fun to have a storyline that might bring out the character's fiery side again. What do you think Audra's hiding? Soaps readers, vote. Audra Charles was never one to dwell on the past. She had built a life on reinvention, slipping in and out of powerful circles, with a well-practiced charm that made people believe whatever version of her she wanted them to. But the past, as she was learning, had a way of clawing its way back when you least expected it. The name alone sent a chill through her. He had always been trouble. Smooth, calculated, dangerous in a way that made him impossible to ignore. Their history was messy, tangled in lies, ambition and secrets neither of them had ever spoken aloud. And now, he was back. "Audra," Holden said, his voice as smooth as ever, his presence taking up too much space in the Grand Phoenix lobby. "Long time." She crossed her arms, her expression unreadable. "Not long enough." His smirk deepened. "Still sharp, I see. But we both know there's unfinished business between us." She scoffed, scanning the room to make sure no one was watching too closely. "The only unfinished business is you walking out of my life years ago. I suggest you do it again." Holden leaned in just slightly, his voice dropping to a whisper. "Oh, Audra, if only it were that simple." They had met years ago, long before Audra had honed her ability to manipulate and outmaneuver the powerful players of Geno City. She was ambitious, eager, and desperate to escape the limitations of her past. And Holden, he was everything she wasn't supposed to want. Their relationship had been built on whispered promises and stolen moments, until it had all come crashing down in one night of betrayal neither of them had ever fully recovered from. "You think I don't remember?" Holden murmured, watching her carefully. "The night in Manhattan." Audra stiffened. Of course, she remembered. The night that had changed everything. She had been working a deal, an opportunity too good to pass up, one that would finally secure her place in a world that had always seemed just out of reach. Holden had been her partner in crime, her confidant, the only person who knew how far she was willing to go to succeed. And then, just as everything had been falling into place, it had all gone horribly wrong. A deal gone bad. A betrayal neither of them had seen coming. And worst of all, a secret that could ruin them both if it ever came to light. Holden took a step closer, lowering his voice. "You told me to disappear. You wanted me gone. But what if I told you that leaving wasn't my choice?" Holden gave her a long look before reaching into his pocket and pulling out a folded piece of paper. He handed it to her, and with wary fingers, she unfolded it. It was slipped under my hotel room door, the night before I left Manhattan. I thought you knew. Audra's mind spun. She had assumed Holden had abandoned her, that he had walked away when things got too complicated. But this was something else entirely. Audra carefully folded the note and slipped it into her purse. She wasn't ready to let Holden see the emotions warring inside her. "So you're saying someone forced you to leave?" she asked, keeping her tone even. "Not just forced me," he said. "Made it very clear that if I stayed, I wouldn't have a future to look forward to." Holden hesitated. "That's what I'm trying to find out. But I know one thing. Whoever it was, they didn't just want me gone. They wanted to protect you." Audra swallowed hard. She had enemies, of course. It came with the territory. But this was different. Someone had been pulling strings in the background, ensuring that Holden disappeared from her life without her even realizing it. And that meant they had power. A lot of it. "Why come back now?" she asked, narrowing her eyes. "After all these years?" Holden exhaled slowly. "Because I finally found a lead. And it points straight to Genoa City." Holden gave her a grim smile. "I think you already know." A name surfaced in her mind. A name she didn't want to say aloud. A person who had been a constant shadow in her rise to power. Someone she had always suspected was keeping tabs on her for reasons she couldn't quite decipher. Audra closed her eyes briefly, composing herself. Tucker had always been a wild card in her life. Sometimes an ally. Sometimes a puppet master pulling strings she couldn't see. If he had orchestrated Holden's disappearance, it meant that whatever had happened in Manhattan wasn't just a bad business deal gone wrong. It was something bigger. "So what now?" she asked, forcing herself to stay composed. Holden tilted his head, studying her. "That depends on you. We can pretend this conversation never happened, or we can finally figure out why someone wanted us apart." Audra let out a slow breath. "You know me, Holden. I never walk away from a fight." A slow grin spread across his face. "That's what I was hoping you'd say." As he turned to leave, she glanced down at the note in her purse one last time. The past was coming back. And this time, she wouldn't be caught off guard. Tucker McCall had played his game well, but Audra was done playing by his rules.